And just drop a little bit of solder on here. And there we have a working backup light. Connect the solar charge controller to the battery. Here are 3 of the brats that I made, and these the reason why they're different lengths is these had blowouts. They were supposed to be sausage, but because I had so many blowouts when twisting them, I went ahead and kept them as brats. So these are not going to get smoked, but these will make good brats. And what I'm going to do is boil them in water, and then once they've been cooked in the water, then I'm going to pan sear them and have them for lunch. So let's see how this goes. So now that the water is at a rolling boil, I'll go ahead and lower the brats into the water. Now that they're in the water, I'll go ahead and cover them and turn the fire off. And I'm gonna let them cook in the water for, let's see, go ahead and give it 7 minutes. See if we got it there. All right, so we'll be back in 7 minutes. All right, now that the 7 minutes have passed, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them from the water. I see none of the casings have busted open, so that's a good thing. Some of the meat did squeeze out, but as I mentioned before, these had previous blowouts from the stuffing process, so that's why they were excluded from the sausage batch. And so now I'm going to go ahead and get this water out of this pan and get the butter going. So I'll be right back. So now that I have the water out of there, I'll go ahead and get the pan hot again. Then I'll get some butter on there. Get that melting. And once I have the butter melted, then I'll get the brats back in there. So I'll go ahead and get the brats in there. And I won't pick a determined amount of time. I'll just flip them whenever I think it's time to flip them. So I'm gonna let that cook on that side, or sear, and I'll be back. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and flip them. You can see some of the skin is already tearing off, and that's because it was already topped. Some of the cheese is already starting to bubble out, so this will not take long. And I will say this is looking pretty good for something homemade, and it being my first time as well. Because here, all I'm trying to get is some browning on the outside and sear it a bit. Because internally it's already cooked. And a good signal of that is that cheese boiling out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these now and start letting them cool off already. So I'll be back once I'm ready to cut them. So now they've been resting for about a minute and a half, and let's see what they look like inside. I'll go ahead and cut this one. So the casing feels nice and firm. Doesn't feel gooey and stringy. Now let's see, that is the inside. You can see some of the cheese. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. You can see some of the cheese right there. You can see the jalapeno bits all over the place. And that looks cooked to me. So now let's give it a taste. Ooh, let's try to get away. So I'll give this little piece a taste. But man, that is looking good. It's a good looking piece of sausage right there. Here we go. Tastes good. That bearded butcher blend gives it a good flavor. Doesn't feel overbearing. And the spice from the jalapeno is not bad. It's actually pretty mild. I was expecting it to be a little spicier since all of the jalapenos I bought were with the curly tails on them. If anything, I could feel a little hint of the jalapeno, but it's not very powerful. So now I'm gonna go ahead and have these for lunch. So that was cool. Thanks for watching. So here, and this. I hooked up the power strip. Bought it for $75, and then we'll just make the transfer.